Hello and welcome to our review of the Magic Robin Hood Hotel in Benidorm, Spain. Quick disclaimer to get out of the way, this video is not sponsored by the hotel nor by anybody else, so it's literally just two people on their holidays giving a review, hopefully to help you make a decision on whether you want to come here or not, or if you are coming, just give you a bit of an idea what to expect. We're going to talk about a few different categories. We're going to give our review. A couple of them are going to be our review as a couple, and some are going to be if you also have kids, as this is more of a hotel for kids necessarily than it is couples, so we'll give you two different reviews in some aspects. So to give you an idea of the price at this hotel, we've come to stay here for a week in, well, from the 30th of September to the 7th of October 2019, and we are staying in the Robin Hood Garden Lodge with a jacuzzi. For our week stay, with our transfers included and our flights with Jet2 Holidays, it's cost us around £700 per person.
With Ultra all inclusive.
With Ultra as well, of course. Yeah, there's different packages you can get, so if you've already booked, please do check what package you're on, because some of it will be relevant to what we're going to go on to in this review. And if you haven't booked, make sure you check all the different packages out there.
There's only two.
Well, there's two there.
All inclusive or Ultra.
Yeah, so there you go, there's two different ones, so check with your travel agent which one, the details on each one and whatever you want to do. Also, another thing is that we've only been here for a week, so we don't know everything 100%, so anything that we do say, please do double check the details to make sure we're right. Another quick tip is, if you're on Facebook, there is a Facebook group called the Magic Robin Hood Hotel Chat. Do go on there. What is really great for that is it's a really good member base. There's over 4,500 members. It's a very active group of people that come every year and people that are here now, and we've used that literally to get all the information. It's a very helpful group to have. Some things we won't even know what to do around here without that, so do go and check that out. And obviously, if you haven't already, do check out our other vlogs that we've done whilst we're here. With the links to those videos are in the description below. So we're going to go on to our first category, and where better to start than the accommodation. So as I've just previously mentioned, we are staying in the Robin Hood Garden Lodge. We obviously can't review all the lodges because we've only stayed in one room, and this is our first time at the hotel. However, some of the details will be quite relevant to the other rooms anyways. The Garden Lodge, I think, is the second level from the top to the best rooms you can get. Above us is the Lionheart Lodge, and I think beneath us you've sort of got the Robin Hood without a garden.
No, it's Robin Hood Gardens without a jacuzzi.
Same difference.
Same without a jacuzzi.
Yeah, so same without a jacuzzi. And then you've got the Nottingham Lodges, Sherwood Lodges, and I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're the different types of rooms you can get. But for ours, I'm quite impressed actually. They're very clean. They're kept very clean and tidy. They've also been spraying it with bug spray as well every time they come and clean it. I don't know if they do that all year round or whether it's because we're unlucky at the moment, we're in the middle of a bug invasion, well, a mosquito invasion. But they have been doing that each day, which has been good, which I think has kept a lot of the mosquitoes out of the room, which is an extra bonus. They're relatively spacious. It sleeps 4. There's a bunk bed, so obviously if you bring 2 kids with you, that's great. And then the king size, well, I think it's bigger than the king size in the main room. It's huge, and it's also very comfy, so you should get a decent night's sleep. So we've also got 2 bathrooms, obviously with 2 really good showers, sinks and toilets, etc. Things that you'd expect in a bathroom. And then obviously you've got the garden area where, oh, of course, there's a sofa in the main room.
2 TVs,
Mini bar, which is, if you're on Ultra, it's free refills.
There's beer, orange Fanta, lemon Fanta,
Pepsi,
and you get 1 bottle of Cava that's not refilled.
And it was also minging for us anyway, but you might like it. Yeah, so you get all that. Obviously you get tea and coffee making facilities as well included.
And a microwave.
So you've got all that included in your room. When you go out of your room, we've got a nice sort of decking area where you can sit. We've got sun lounges, a nice sort of seating area with a sofa and a chair, and obviously the main part of booking this lodge is the jacuzzi. However, just to point out, the jacuzzis are kept on just 33 degrees, and that sounds hot, but it's not. However, we have found a little trick of how to unlock the hot tub and turn it up. So if you want to find out how to do that, go and check out our other vlog, more from Magic Robin Hood. It's also got air conditioning, which is actually very, very good. I've been to other hotels where you're either too hot at night or it's too cold, whereas the air conditioning in these rooms are perfect, to be honest. They are, you can leave it off throughout the day if you want to, and as soon as you turn it on, within 2 minutes the room's cool. So very good air conditioning, which should also help you have a comfortable night's sleep. The only negative I can think is, even in our rooms, even though we're such a perfect position on the corner, it still can be relatively noisy if you have noisy neighbours, which we have done for a few of the nights.
They haven't been too bad. I think the Sherwood lodges are horrendous, so if you can sleep well, then go for that. But they're paper thin and on the main strip to the entertainment, so
the problem you get
walk past all the time.
The problem you get with lodges is obviously it's great because it's unique and it's different, but you are going to have thin walls, so you are going to hear you're going to get a bit of sound pollution. And unfortunately, if you're near the entertainment or the main area, you're going to have people walking past and you're going to have music. So if you're a heavy sleeper, you won't have any problems. If you're not, probably bring some earplugs because you might need them, especially if you're in the Sherwood lodges. So that's just something to bear in mind. So yeah, we're going to give it an overall review, a rating out of 10. Emma, what are you going to give it?
8.
And I'm going to give it exactly the same. I'm also going to give it an 8 out of 10. Really couldn't get much better, I think, apart from if it was a bit more sort of sound insulated. That's only been the real issue. So yeah, a solid 8 out of 10 for accommodation. Okay, on to our next category, which is going to be hotel facilities. So this includes pretty much everything from your pools and your slides to your sunbeds, to all your other facilities such as tennis courts, mini golf, laser tag. Put it this way,
archery.
There's a lot of choice here, especially if you're bringing children with you. So you've got 2 pools, 2 quite large pools as well.
The main pool is really large, the other pool's not as big, but
still a good size though,
yeah.
isn't it? Still two very good sized pools. The one's at the top and one's at the bottom. So if you've joined the Magic Robin Hood Chat Facebook group, you'll see a lot of people referring to the top pool. That's the one where you've got the sort of the splash pad, the tennis courts are up there, that's where you'll find the snack bar, and that's the smaller pool of the 2. And I think there's some little slides and stuff up there, isn't there?
yeah, there's like the kids slide area. Not anything for the adults, just the little kids. It's not really a splash pad because it's a pool as well, but
There is a swim-up bar there as well though, so it's still a good pool, and it still seems to be very, very popular actually.
it's very busy. I think if you go after 10 o'clock, you haven't got a chance of getting sunburn.
Yeah, because that is a bit smaller, as in space around it and things like that. So that's the top pool. Then you've also got the bottom pool, which is where we've spent the majority of our holiday here, which is where you'll find all of the slides. So you've got the big slides and the littler slides, but they're still pretty big.
There's hundreds of sunbeds. There's no chance you'll ever come and not be able to get one.
Yeah, I mean, we've come out at, well, when we arrived here in the afternoon, and we still didn't have any issues finding sunbeds. So you don't have to worry like you do at other hotels where you get up at 7 in the morning. You don't have to do that here. You will get sunbeds at any time throughout the day. However, if you want to get these comfy beds that we're on now, you supposedly have to pay for them, but nobody does anymore. So you can get access to these, but you probably do have to get up a little bit earlier.
I don't know though. I don't know what time it is now. I think it's like 10:30, 11, and there's still about 33 probably.
So maybe not.
And also, going by this time of year, it's usually quiet, but they're currently at full capacity due to the Thomas Cook collapsing. So, and there's still hundreds of sunbeds. So
yeah, bearing that in mind, it's quite incredible to say this. The hotel holds over 1,000 people and it's currently at full capacity, but there's still plenty of room. It's not like we're absolutely crammed everywhere. There's loads of room, loads of space, loads of sunbeds, and you certainly don't feel claustrophobic anyway, which you think you would be at full capacity. So that's another big bonus of this resort. You've also got the spa, which we haven't actually tested out ourselves, so if anybody has been to this hotel and has used the spa, please leave a comment below. And same for any other facilities, if you've been here, or if you're going to go and you fancy coming back and leaving your thoughts, please do put them in the comments below, because we've been here for a week and we haven't had time to try out everything.
And we haven't got children, so
of course, yeah.
Comment on that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a kids club, again, we haven't got children.
I've been
so
in there. I'm not a child, but it doesn't look fantastic. It just had a TV and a few toys.
So specifically the slides. Emma's been on more than I, because I can't swim. But as you can see from some of these clips that we're playing now, they are pretty fun. Especially the double ones, they're quite cool. You've been on the big ones.
Yeah, they were fun. Some of them very slow, but that's what you get when you get to water park. Some of them very too fast and you get drowned at the bottom and bruised and God knows what, but it was good fun.
That's water slides for you though, isn't
For a hotel it's pretty good slides. There's at least 10 probably.
Yeah.
And then there's the kids ones as well, the little ones that just go into the baby pool.
So yeah, the slides are a very big positive of the Magic Robin Hood Hotel. Time for the rating. What are you going to give it, Emma? I think this is the one where we're going to have to give two. One for a child, or for children, and one for adults, just on their own like us.
I don't know. Maybe an 8 again? I don't really know what they could do to make it better. Just maybe more of a quiet area. I don't know, but then it is really quiet up here, so I'm not sure.
Well, for me, I'm going to give it, for children, I'm going to give it a 9. I think.
Oh, that's for adults.
Okay, it's quite high. So yeah, for children, I'm going to give it a 9. I think there is a lot to do around here. Sport for choice. The stuff that we haven't even mentioned, there's just so much that you can list off. So for children, for me, definitely a 9 out of 10. However, for adults, I'm going to have to give it. I'm going to give it a 7. It's still relatively good. Like you said, the only thing you haven't got is if you do want to escape from the noise a little bit and from the children, there isn't much spaces where you can get away. As in, there's not an adult area, adult only area, so that's probably the only negative. However,
we haven't seen any families without children. So.
Yeah, we seem to be like the only ones, so maybe that's our mistake, really. But it's just good to know. So yeah, 7 for adults. What's your child one? Child rating?
Probably a 9, 9.5, maybe 9, because the kids could be great. But all these kids haven't stopped running up and down the slides all day. The only downside to this is the pool. You can only have floats in the shallow area. You can't take them into the deep area, and the lifeguards, we have lifeguards on all the time. They're quite strict with the kids. You can jump in, but obviously you can't do flips or diving or anything. But this is quite a big area, so there's kids still having fun.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't stopped them having fun, has it? You can certainly say that. Okay, so moving on from the facilities on to the location of the hotel. So literally it's a 5-minute taxi to both, which costs around €10, well, maximum of 10 euros, 6 to 10 euros, and you can easily book a taxi from the reception area. So that's nice and easy, very accessible to the surrounding areas. We had a trip out to the beach in Albert. Wasn't fantastic, there wasn't a great deal to do around there, and obviously it's a pebble beach, so
there's a lot of bars and restaurants.
Yeah, but you've got that here. So for us, there wasn't that much. But we went out there. We wanted to go to the beach, so we've done that. Maybe if I was yourselves, I would probably get onto Google and search for sandy beaches to see if there are any around here. But yeah, we had one trip to Albert, and we probably only spent an hour there really, and then we came back. But we wanted to do that. We wanted to see what it was like. And then obviously you've also got Benidorm, where you're going to have even more variety of sort of shops and restaurants, bars, and all sorts of things like that. So obviously there's going to be a lot to do in Benidorm. And you've also got other local attractions. So if you're on the ultra package like ourselves, you also have tickets to local attractions included in your package, such as the zoo. Was the theme park included?
No.
Well, there is
the
a theme
zoo
park.
and the water park, they're at the same hotel there. That's included. Circus, I believe.
Circus, yeah. There's a lot of different things, so obviously check your package and make sure you make the most of those tickets if you want to go and do those sort of things. And there is a theme park which we passed on the way from the hotel from Alicante, so probably about 10 minutes away, do you think? Terranetica, that's probably got the pronunciation completely wrong, but anyway, that's pretty close.
It's only open at weekends at this time of year.
Yes, so yeah, if you come in, like I said, we're here in October, so it's only open at weekends, but any other time of the year it should be open, obviously 7 days a week. Again, check online for those details, just in case we're wrong, which is normally the case. The transfer time for us from Alicante Airport to the hotel was around 1 hour 15 minutes, but that was with other drop-offs, as we have booked through Jet2 Holidays. However, if we have had people that said it's taken up to 2 hours, so if you're not a big fan of travelling, we would probably recommend looking at booking transfers directly, or ask your agent to see if you can get direct transfers, and then I think it will probably be a maximum of around 30 minutes. It's not that far, is it?
It's quite interesting seeing all the other hotels.
It is, yeah. So if you're happy to do the travelling, an hour and 15 minutes, it wasn't too bad. The bus was comfy and air conditioned, so it was okay for us. But it's just something to bear in mind when you're booking. So yeah, a quick rating for the location of the resort. I'm going to give it another good rating of 8 out of 10. It's close to everything that you need. Would have been a 9 or a 10 if there was a sandy beach nearby, but we haven't found one yet. But again, if there is one, please do correct us and put it in the comments below.
7 for me. It'd be nice if it was in more walking distance of places. Apparently you can walk to Albert, but it's along a main road and there's no path, so...
Unless there's another route that we're not aware of. When we went in the taxi, it did seem like main roads without any paths. So, but there are people that do walk it, and they do say it takes, well, I've read 20 minutes and I've read 45 minutes. So I'm not 100% sure on that. So maybe consult your Google Maps with that one. Moving on, we're going to review food and drinks. So this is probably a big one for a lot of people. So definitely a big one for us. We've been to some wonderful hotels and we've been to some awful hotels. So I feel like we can give you quite a balanced review on this. However, we are going to review this on value for your money. So please do bear that in mind, as I feel like you are getting quite a bargain for a week here for £100 a night, really. So we're going to base our rating on the value for money. There are 7 restaurants here at Magic Robin Hood Hotel. So you've got, I think 5 of them are reservation restaurants, which if you're on the Ultra package, all of those are included, but just make sure you go and book them when you arrive for the week. You don't seem to have many issues of actually getting space, and that's bearing in mind we're here at full capacity, so most of the times you should be fine, but you do have to book it 24 hours in advance. So do make sure you go and book those if you want to eat at the different varieties. The different restaurants are
the Golden Arrow and the Longbow Terrace.
So they are both the buffet restaurants. One's a little bit smaller than the other, but they both do similar food, don't they?
Well, the Longbow Terrace is a lot smaller. That's by the pool, and it's just got a sort of more of a snack bar, I guess.
And the other one's obviously got a lot more variety. Obviously you go there for breakfast, lunch, and obviously you can go there for dinner at night as well. Good. I think it's been okay. It's a variety. It's not perfect, and it's not the best.
You're not going to go hungry.
You're certainly not going to go hungry, yeah, that is for sure. Moving on to the reservation restaurants, we have
Friar Tuck's Inn Grill.
Right, this is the only one that we haven't actually done yet, which is tonight. So we're filming this video on our last day here, and we've got that one tonight. So
I've seen mixed reviews. Some people say it's amazing, some people say it's absolutely horrendous.
Well, we will add that in just a second. Obviously, we're going to be in a different place, but we will add that review in right now. So we've just got back from
Friar Tuck's Inn Grill.
I got a mistake, so I've got it wrong about 5 times on this clip. So there we go. So we just got back from there, and it was pretty nice actually. I really liked it. It was good quality food. Another 3-course meal. Obviously, remember this is one that you have to reserve at again. And then good little bonus, this one you also have the choice of sitting outside, which you don't have at the rest of them. So that's also a nice little bonus there too. 3-course meal. Starters wasn't fantastic in our opinion, but it might be for you. It was pretty much bread and salad, whereas I'm a salad dodger and I don't really like bread abroad. So
You had meat then, meat.
oh, there was a bit of meat. Yeah, a bit of meat
That's
actually.
fine,
So.
stuff.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. The mains were very good. It was a lot of meat, and they even asked if we wanted more, which I thought was a fantastic gesture. I was happy with that. Although I had to decline because I was already full at that point. But it was very good quality. It was lamb, pork, and chicken. We also had rosemary potatoes, and I think there's peppers as well, wasn't there? So a very nice main. And then the puddings were very similar to the Forest Cafe puddings.
Just a selection of cake.
Yeah, just pretty much selection of cakes, which were again very nice. Rating time. What are you going to go for, Emma?
7.5.
And I'm going to give it a solid 9. Another big bonus of there as well is that it had a bar, so you didn't have to.
First place we've been able to get cocktails from at night.
Absolutely, yeah. You didn't have to settle for just a soft drink.
So the next one is the Lionheart Magic Restaurant. Well, we can't really review this one very well because we went thinking it was Indian food.
Ah, I do remember now.
It was sandwiches. So if you went to the, what was it, the 8 o'clock showing, you would have got the Indian food. But we went to the 6 o'clock showing and it was the sandwiches. but I believe that the Indian, it's only, double check, is only on a Thursday at 8 o'clock.
But I don't know what happens the rest of the week. It could also still be the rest of the week
I
that,
think it might be sandwiches.
unless it's the 8 o'clock one.
No, I think it's just sandwiches the rest of the week. It's only
Is it?
8 o'clock on a Thursday that's Indian. From the chat page, that's what I've seen, but just double check.
Yeah, I mean, do clarify that. Yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna go, if it's just gonna be sandwiches, I'd eat before you go, or be prepared to eat
We ate
afterwards in the
afterwards
buffet,
in
which
the
is what we did, which was fine.
The magic show was
because
very good.
It was worth it for the magic show, yeah. It was certainly good. We've got some footage of that on our other vlog.
And the next restaurant is Italian Longbow, which is probably, well, it's my personal favourite. I don't like yours, but
I probably agree with that. I mean, the choice was, it wasn't a massive choice,
no,
but
it was pizza or pasta basically.
which is what you tend to get at an Italian anyway, really. So you didn't really need a massive choice. It was free courses though, which was good. And but the quality of the food just it seemed like a step up from the rest of the hotel, didn't it?
I got pasta and Nathan got pizza, and we just had half each, so it worked. It worked well, but yeah, that's my personal favourite.
And another thing is they were very good portion size as well. The pizza was pretty big, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was huge.
That for us was probably the pick of the reservation restaurants. So if you're a fan of Italian food, definitely do go and try that one out.
And the next we've got Robin Forest Cafe.
We're mixed on this one. The issue is we went out and we both wasn't actually that hungry, which didn't help. However, I sort of liked the atmosphere in there. It felt...
It was a nice like place. Like they had all trees inside and the figurines and stuff, but for the food,
it was similar to the buffet food, really. Yeah, there wasn't that much different compared to that. There was a few different choices. You could have burgers and things like that in there, but the food wasn't any better than elsewhere that you can get at the resort. But I liked it. I thought it was a nice change. And got to point it out, the puddings were brilliant. Definitely worth it just for the puddings. But again, do be prepared to maybe go and eat something else afterwards.
I don't know. I ate enough. It was okay. It was edible.
Yeah,
It was,
I
it
thought
was
it was okay.
Right, the next one's the Medieval Dinner Show, which is only on Saturdays at 9 p.m.
Yeah, this surprised me a little bit actually. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be, especially when we first walked in. The show was different, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was about
very
2 hours long. It's really good. It's a massive arena, and it's got about 10 real horses in, and
Yeah.
it's like a proper show that you'd pay and go to see, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's certainly if you have to pay to go in to watch that, it's certainly worth the money. The food as well. I mean, wow, the food was brilliant. It was
basic, but it was
very
nice.
basic. I think it was kind of it sort of linked in well with the theme. It was all sort of finger foods, wasn't it? Things
Yeah.
like that. Soup for starters with bread and chicken on the bone. That was incredible. And everything else was really good, especially compared to the rest of the hotel. I said this in the other vlog, is if that food was the same as for the whole of the hotel, the food would be getting a 10 out of 10 from me. That's how good the food was. So certainly do go on.
My only downside for that was they spoke in 2 different languages, which is fair enough, Spanish and English.
Bit confusing.
But they didn't say everything in Spanish and everything in English, so it was a bit hard to follow the story, but it still got you all involved.
They had
it was good fun.
Yeah, so some of the characters only spoke Spanish and some only
Like
spoke
Robin
English.
Hood
So
only spoke Spanish.
they were answering each other in different languages, and you could see what they're trying to do. So the English guy was trying to sort of reply to the Spanish person by repeating what they'd said in a certain way, which worked a little bit, but it was hard to follow. But it was still entertaining regardless. The only downside for me with this one was the queuing time. The queuing system was absolutely awful. So you get your tickets through your machine, which you do for all your other reservations. You then have to take your ticket to the reception at 7 o'clock.
Which was a queue for.
Which there was a big queue for. Not just a queue, a big queue. Change that ticket for another ticket, which then gets you into the show. Which then
people queued up for from 7:30.
Yeah, and it didn't start till 9. And the queue was absolutely horrendous.
I mean, we were at the front of the queue, but then we got out of it because I nearly passed out for some bizarre reason. So we went to sit in the Lady Marion Theatre for a good hour at least, and the queue was just going on for miles. But we joined it as they were going in about 10 to 9.
Yep.
And we got front row seats.
It was bizarre. We literally got the best seats in the house.
So
didn't
my
we?
advice to you is just don't bother joining the queue and just get in at the end, because even if you were at the back, you'd still have a great view. So what's the point in queuing?
Yeah, it's not like a flat theatre. You're not going to be looking over people's heads. It's like raised. So
Yeah.
even if you're at the back, you really don't need to worry about the getting a good seat. They're
But all the people
good
that came in
seats.
last tended to get the front row seats. So
We was joking about that in the queue, and it actually happened. It was a bizarre way of doing it, but so if you do wait and you don't get front row seats, don't blame us. But that's what happened for us. So I just think even if you don't get front row seats, it's not worth queuing up in that massive queue just to get front row, because every view is going to be good.
Yeah.
So that's the only downside to that one. But apart from that, I mean, I'd still 100% recommend doing it. So we're going to quickly give a rating for each individual restaurant. I think that's important. Then we're going to give you an overall rating for the food and drink here at the resort.
Fly.
As we get started.
Right, are we doing the buffets together?
Yeah, the buffets together. Let's do this quick
Okay.
fire.
Buffets.
4.
5. Lionheart Magic Restaurant. 2.
1.
Only because we didn't try the Indian.
Although the entertainment was good.
Italian Longbow. 9.
8.
Robin Forest Cafe.
6.
5. And Medieval Dinner Show.
10.
9. Okay, so overall,
Overall, food and drink. Well, we haven't really spoke about the drinks much, so let's just
Yeah.
quickly touch on that, especially around the pools and things where you're going to be drinking most of the time. They're definitely generous with the alcohol, so don't worry about
So
that.
that-
Don't be concerned that they're not going to give you much, because they certainly do.
and they're
probably.
proper branded alcohols like the Smirnoff and
Yeah, they're
Disaronno.
really good, really good. Chocolate Baileys, make sure you try that while you're out here. We've been having Disaronno and Coke, which we might as well say is 95% Disaronno and 5% Coke. And the service is also pretty good. So again, despite the fact that we're at full capacity, we're only having to sort of wait a few minutes for a drink each time. So it's been very good service and very good quality of drinks. So you don't have to worry that. And there's plenty of bars around as well, so you don't have to worry about where to get one being close to you. Really, you're going to get one. So yeah, the overall food and drink rating. I'll go first on this one. I'm gonna have to give it. It's a hard one. This but I'm gonna have to give it. Actually, value for money. I'm gonna give it a good 6.5 out of 10. I think that's pretty good.
I was gonna say 7. Pretty similar.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's quite good. To say some people either love it or hate it.
So there's very mixed reviews
Yeah.
on the chat page.
But I think giving it a balanced review on what you're paying, I think it's very fair.
I just realised we missed something.
What?
The pool bar, snack bar.
Ah, yes.
The kebabs there are very nice.
They are. Downside is we had to wait quite a while.
About 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was only like a mouthful. So if you're going to order one, get there early and order more than one, because
Yeah.
they're probably kid size.
Don't try and share it like we did. It was a big mistake. We waited 45 minutes for not much, but obviously you can order as much as you want. So as long as you don't make the same mistake as us, you'll be fine. But it was very nice as well.
There
So
seems to be a bit of a war for these kebabs, so if you want one,
they do
just
run
get
out.
there early.
Probably go before 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you probably will miss out. And another thing, just to quickly point out, another thing that we also forgot, that there are a lot of ice creams on offer as well. You can get cornettos and ice lollies and things like that, which is another extra bonus. You don't usually get them, or you'd also expect them to run out, and they don't. So
And they also offer crisps and Doritos at all the bars as well, so if you're ever feeling peckish.
And as we mentioned, these are proper brands. They're not just cheap knockoffs, like proper cornettos and things like that. They're very nice, so an extra bonus. I feel like I'm upping mine to 7 now. I'm upping it to 7. 7 out of 10. Okay, we're going to move on now to the entertainment, and this is going to be another one which is going to have 2 different ratings from us. One is if you have children with you, and 2 is if you're on your own as a couple like us. And they're going to be very, very different ratings, I can tell you that now. Most of the entertainment is in the Lady Marion Theatre, and it usually starts around, is it about 7:30 when things start in there?
They always have the kids disco / minion thing.
Yeah, it seems to be, a lot of the entertainment seems to be split up into sort of half-an-hour shows, so they always have like a minion kids disco, so
Oh, the hokey cokey.
yep, that seems to be on.
Baby
Baby Shark,
Shark.
don't forget about that one. That's been on a lot. Bomba, whatever it is, that's been on a lot. So it's pretty similar every night, but the kids definitely seem to be enjoying it. And then there's also all sorts of different shows that are on different nights of the week. So do check the show board for details on that. We've had parrot shows, we've had magic shows, eagle shows, owl shows.
And they also have pool entertainment in fashion.
It is in a fashion.
They have an aqua class and a dancing class, which I usually join in with, but it's in water about up to your ankles, so I don't think you can really class it as an aqua class.
It's not really aqua class, is it?
They also have like a big carpet that they put out every day, and the kids like run across the pool, which they all love that.
Yep.
And they have like a volleyball net type thing. I've only seen that on once, but
They also have a foam party.
oh yeah, that was good. I did enjoy that.
Make sure you don't
Apart from
inhale it.
jokes.
It went down my throat and I thought I was going to die for a good 5 minutes.
That's
So
on twice a week.
yeah, which again the kids seem to love, and the adults actually. And obviously you've also still got the entertainment at the restaurants that you can reserve at, so the Magic one and the Medieval one, which we're also going to sort of count in our entertainment review as well. So we're going to go in for it. We'll start with we'll go with adults first. What would you rate it for adults here, especially ones without children?
Including the medieval ones, because that's difficult.
Um,
If you're basing it on not the medieval ones, or the magic show, probably 2, 3.
yep.
If you included, if I was just rating the medieval and the magic show, probably like 7, 8.
Yeah, that is probably quite fair. That's how different it is. I'm literally, I'm not even going to say 3. I'm going to go 2. A generous 2 for entertainment.
We have had a bit of a laugh.
But you do make it. It's sort of what you make of it. End of the day,
Like the Disney show.
we love the Disney show actually. It's a bit weird, but it genuinely is what you make of it. And some people are out till early hours in the morning, and so if you have a few drinks, it does make it a bit better. And obviously, if you have got kids with you, it will be entertaining because they'll definitely be enjoying it. So, and again, I'd agree with Emma as well with the other shows included. So the medieval and the magic show, it probably notch it up to a good 7 for me. So there are other things to do, and obviously you've also got the option of going out of the hotel. So you certainly won't be bored, and it is what you make of it. However, for children, this is hard for us to review because we haven't got children with us, so we're going to put ourselves into the child's mind, which I think is quite easy for us to do. And I think I'm going to give it I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for entertainment. I think it's
For
been
under
good.
10s, I would probably say 8, 9. For over 10s, probably 7, 6, 7. Because it is.
I
Some of the
suppose,
entertainment
yeah.
is for quite young.
If you're going to be looking at, say, teenagers,
Definitely not. No.
in the day they've probably got a lot to do. In the
Yeah.
evening, it's probably a different story. It is certainly more aimed at younger children. So that's a good point. So yes, it's good. Bearing in mind the age group of the party you've got coming as well. So that's the entertainment. So yeah, we're just going to try and give it, the whole hotel, an overall review, overall rating,
But also for kids.
taking everything into account, and we're going to do it for couples coming on their own, and we're going to do it for families with children. So Emma, what would you give it for couples coming on their own?
But for my holiday personally, I'd say probably 7 out of 10. But if I was to recommend, I probably wouldn't necessarily recommend it to another couple, because we just make the most of it. We like Disney music, we like stuff like that.
Kids at heart, really.
Yeah, but for another couple, if I was to recommend it to another couple, I'd probably say 5.
Personally, I feel like if you just want to come for a relatively cheap holiday, all inclusive, and get some sunshine, I mean, one thing I haven't mentioned again is that we're here in October and the weather has been perfect for the whole week. We've had late 20s, so the weather's been good, and we just wanted to relax and sunbathe. So for that, it's been good. So I'd give it I'd agree with you, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. But if you're looking for something a bit more than that, probably, I'm going to have to agree, it's going to have to be a 5 out of 10. But I probably won't come here again. That's not a criticism to the
Maybe
hotel
in the
as
future
such.
if we have children.
Yeah, I mean with children I definitely would come, to be fair.
What
I
are you
think,
going to say? No, we're not having children.
well, whether it'll still be here in 100 years, who knows, but if you're coming with a family, with children, I don't think for the price you're paying for on average £100 per person per night, I don't think you could get much more for your value for money around here. So I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10 for families with children.
I'd probably say 8, 9. Yeah. You can obviously do a lot better, but
You're going to be paying a lot more.
yeah.
That's where.
Like I've been on some children's holidays with my family, and the entertainment and has been suitable for adults and children, and the kids clubs have been a lot better. But then I've never had a pool like this, so it's varies.
It's all down to personal preference.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, many of you watching this will either agree with what we're saying, or you might disagree. It's everyone's personal preference and their own opinions. However, do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you are coming, we really do hope you have a fantastic time. It's a good hotel, and obviously it's even better the more you make out of it. And just let us know. Let us know your tips below. Don't forget to check out our other vlogs. The links are in the description below. Again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us your thoughts below.